Thank you very much, Borough President Brewer. We really appreciate your involvement with so much of what Cornell Tech is doing. Thank you so much. I also want to recognize Shelby Gardner in the back. If you would stand up, another task force member. He represents Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. We're glad to have you here. There are a few seats reserved for task force members. Shelby, you good? Okay, all right, that's just fine. Okay, I'll talk a little bit and then we will go to Diane and then Andrew. As many of you know, Cornell Tech made a series of commitments to Roosevelt Island as part of its agreement with the City Council and with other government entities. And these commitments are incorporated into our lease with the city. And some of you know probably that each year we are required to file a report with the city, specifically with the Economic Development Corporation. And just to let you know that we would be happy to make this available to you. In addition, we're currently putting together an annotated version of this report that outlines our activities in 2013, 2014, what we've done to date, and what we're doing in 2016 in advance of our landing on Roosevelt Island. It will be available in the next couple of weeks. If you'd like a copy of this report, please see me when you before you leave tonight. Oops. All right. The bulk of our commitments center around construction, the school, and the community. And I will give a brief top-level overview of all of these and then go into a little more detail on my area of responsibility, the community commitments. And then Diane Levitt is our K-12 Education Director, as we've said, and will be presenting to you in a few minutes about our engagements across the city, but of course predominantly with our adopted school, PSIS 217. And of course, Andrew, he will talk extensively about our construction commitments and give a campus construction update on in his presentation. But focusing on this for a minute, just to give you a broad overview. First and foremost, above all else, we heard from the community that barging was the most important commitment we could make to the community. In no uncertain terms, the community pushed for this. They wanted to minimize the number of trucks on Main Street, and we heard you. This is an incredibly expensive endeavor, and we're doing it because the community requested it, and it is working. The result to date is that over 6,300 trucks have been avoided on Main Street. I think that translates into over 12,700 truck trips. So that's a very good thing, and we're so glad to be doing it, and it seems to be working well. In addition, we're doing extensive air quality monitoring on our site. Andrew will explain this in greater detail in his presentation because I think there's been a little confusion about this topic, and he can straighten that out. And we formed, as you know, as I've said already, the Community Construction Task Force. The members were introduced earlier. We maintain and regularly update a construction website. Minutes of our task force meetings and the presentations on the construction project are loaded onto the site, as is a 2-week look ahead and air quality monitoring data. Oh, and I should make note that all the presentations that are made here tonight, we will also upload those onto our website. And we're creating 2.5 acres of open space, and because our campus is being built out in 3 stages, there will be additional open space available, landscaped and available to the community until the campus is fully built out. In addition, we're making extensive improvements to the roadways, replacing utilities and constructing a linked road around our campus that will include a bike lane. Again, Andrew can elaborate more on this. And very important to the community, not to mention Judy Birdie, we are preserving the Goldwater WPA murals that were located in the former Goldwater Hospital. Switching now to our community commitments. As some of you know, I was hired as community liaison in 2014, and I coordinate our community construction task force meetings. We hold town hall meetings like this one to update the community, and we have a great arrangement with Gallery Riva that I will talk about in a minute. We also connect our Cornell University partners to the island, in particular Co-op Extension and Weill Cornell Medical College. As many of you know, Weill Cornell's monthly health and wellness seminars are presented in conjunction with the Roosevelt Island Women's Health Organization. They're very popular, and at many of these meetings, it's standing room only. Leila Amatua is the head of the Roosevelt Island Women's Health Association and does a great service for this community. We also have a community space, as I mentioned before. I have office hours in our beloved Gallery Riva on Main Street 2 days a week, Wednesday and Friday. Many people drop in to get information on our campus development, our programs, and our community involvement. And we're really happy to be able to help support the gallery. And of course, the gallery is open to visitors the 2 days a week that I am here, when it normally would be closed. Thank you. I'm going to stop just for a minute. I think, well, let's see, Councilmember Ben Kalos is with us, but he will let us know when he is ready. Okay, so I will continue. This summer, in honor of our campus groundbreaking, we commissioned an exhibition by a Cornell alum, Peter Jarakaris, called Tropicalia, that brought people from around the city to Roosevelt Island and to the gallery who had never been here before. The exhibition in the gallery got a fair amount of press. There was even an article in Architectural Digest about it. This is Peter installing the exhibition. He's a really great guy that a lot of community people got to know. He did this all himself. He created it and he installed it, by himself. It really was a fabulous exhibit. I think the gallery was just thrilled about this. It's really, really great. I particularly want to thank the gallery leadership, especially Tad Sadal and Esther Cohen for all their work throughout the year, but particularly with the Tropicalia exhibition. It was a big job. And tonight, I think at the sign-in desk, we have a gallery member helping us out over in South, Deepti Shukla, and I thank her for all the good volunteer work she does on the island. Deepti, right there. She's going to come and take a bow. No, she's too shy, but we'll thank her on the way out, won't we? One other thing about my hours in the gallery, and this is important. It's becoming a place where connections are made and ideas are born. Local merchants stop by and ask how they can apply to be a vendor, and since one of our commitments is to use Roosevelt Island vendors whenever possible, we're very pleased to engage with them and direct them through the process. And already we've been able to use Roosevelt Island vendors for our events, including an island photographer and tonight's production company, Oxygen. And also, of course, we take advantage of the food and beverage providers on the island, including Riverwalk Cafe, Main Street Sweets, and Island Wine and Spirits. That's a favorite of mine. And finally, and very importantly, when Cornell Tech met with community leaders early on regarding the types of engagements and commitments they would like to see us make on the island, there was an emphasis on the importance of using our technological resources and expertise to help both seniors and the disabled. So last year, in what was called Hack Roosevelt Island Day, our students held a very fun coding session under Diane Levitt's leadership at PSIS 217, and then the students went to the Senior Center, where they provided computer training one-on-one with seniors. Some were introduced to the internet, Google searches, internet safety. Others brought their iPhones. They were quite sophisticated, laptops or iPads for some individual instruction. I swear no one came up for air for the entire time. And you can see here that it was quite intense. It was the first time I'd ever seen both T-shirts and food, go through. No, they didn't pay attention to the T-shirts or the food at all. So when we know it's a success. We have also worked with the Senior Center Director regarding their computer needs, and we learned that computer maintenance was high on their list. We were able to bridge an organization called Empower to the Senior Center to provide this service. And this fall, we are taking a close look at the technological needs of people with disabilities and how Cornell Tech can help. And we want to do this right and make sure that it's meaningful. So we are taking our time. I am fortunate that I have a number of good resources on the island. Jim Bates, of course, Uncle Jim, head of the Roosevelt Island Disabled Association. I really thank him. I wish he were here. I thank him for his patience with all my questions. There are a number of people who stop by to see me in the gallery who have disabilities, and I've become friends with a few of them, and I'm getting some good guidance from them. Finally, there are a number of island residents who are very involved with the community and providing thoughtful counsel as well. And we are starting to engage with Kohler Hospital as well. In fact, yesterday I had a very good meeting with hospital leadership, and we came away excited and convinced that there are a number of ways that we can work together. And I just want to mention the Palette Project. Perhaps you read in the Roosevelt Islander blog about one group of our Cornell Tech students who are developing a tongue-controlled wireless device for use by people with quadriplegia. Now, I do not know how to describe it other than that. But never fear, I invite you to the next Community and Construction Task Force meeting, because the students will be making a presentation on the Palette Project at that meeting, and it really is quite fascinating. The meeting is Monday, October 26th at 6 p.m. in Gallery Ava. So, stop by and see us. I'll stop here. Again, I'm at the gallery on Wednesdays and Fridays, and you can also reach me at the above phone number and email. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll now turn the stage over to our K-12 Education Director, Diane Levitt.